Okay, so let's go over how you're going to finish up this homework and hand everything in, okay? So we said that you were going to download the Mad Zach packs, and so you can double click to open that, or once you've already opened it, you'll navigate there by going to Places, Packs. Now you'll see the 64 pad Lab by Mad Zach. Let's twiddle that down. There's a lot of stuff in here, but we're just looking at drum racks. And you took each of these and dragged them over and played around. So here I just have the warp drive in this first track. Okay. I used the Novation launch key and played around with different sounds and recorded a few different things. I'm pretty happy with this one. So I like that zhoosh at the end. It kind of signifies when the next part of the podcast might begin. And I like the way it reverbs out, kind of echoey, bouncy on the way out. So that's the one I'm liking the best. You'll notice a few things as we take a look here. The name of each sample. Okay, this is the warp drive track, but each sound that I used is written right over top of the place it's falling in the sequence. It's also written along the side here. I've done a fold. If you unfold, you see all 64 sounds that crazy Mad Zach created and stuffed in here. But I usually like to fold it up, so I'm just looking at the ones I used. Now you may also notice some are a little darker purple than others. In fact, the darker purple ones have a taller red line down here, and this for some reason is going from 1 to 127. We'll talk about that next week. But this is the volume of each sound. So if you press very hard on a Novation key, it's velocity sensitive and it remembers and it plays that sound at a louder volume. If you gently hit the key, you've got these softer versions of the sound. If you change your mind later, just grab this and move it. Okay, you can make this as loud or soft as you want later on. Okay, so that's the sound I've kind of got going here. This is 1 measure, 2. So you see we ended up here at about 8 measures. And then I turned on loop so that it would, when I run this clip, there we go. We're moving through the measures, and when it hits the end, it just loops right back. Let me turn this down a little. Now, I had some other recordings that friends have given me, and you may too. You may have a microphone and you've been playing around recording some things. You may have recorded some stuff on your phone. So feel free to go ahead and get as inventive as you want. I brought in a clip that a friend of mine, right? She's got that haunting little vocal background. So I kind of like that added in. So feel free to do things like that too. I'm going to hit the stop button on these guys right now. Okay, so this is set up. Hit a stop. This is all set up the way I like. I'm happy. I did the homework. I learned a lot about working with other people's samples and how they all get drawn in into this little clip window. I can loop them. I can fold, see what's the name of all the samples. I'm really feeling pretty big, pretty full of myself. So now I want to hand this in and get my 100 for homework. So what we're going to do is come up here to the top and hit File, Save Live Set As. Now we get to name it. Let's call it something else. Homework 2. Try with Hannah vocals. And we're going to say, where are we saving that to? Well, we're on a Mac machine right now. This will look a little different if you're on Windows. But I put a folder on my desktop called 137. And yeah, that's a good place for this to go. So let's do a save over there. And if we take a look, oops, let me try and take a look for you. Okay, so let's open up on desktop. And I got a lot of stuff in here. Here's the folder for 137. And so you see it made a project folder. Maybe this is the one I wanted. There we go. Inside that is something called ALS, an Ableton Live Set. And there are different ways of looking at this in the Finder window. Okay, you can say this is the folder it's in. Then there's a folder called Project. In that are these files. You can even get a big picture window on Mac, right? And it shows you a picture of the ALS. See how it's kind of like an Ableton set. All these little tracks and then clips in the tracks and scenes all set up for you right on the icon for the file. And so that's what we want you to send us, the ALS file that you do from a file save as live set. Okay. Now, if you got a little fancier, you used more than just the Mad Zach stuff, and like I was using Hannah's file here, you want to do a collect all and save and just say okay on that, because that'll pick up all these other files, like my file from my friend Hannah that came from somewhere else. So when Jen and I try and play these, we don't have missing files show up. Okay, so I think we're all good. You're going to take that ALS file, post it to us. Feel free to put it up in the discussion board so people can kind of share each other's work and give you some good feedback and some really see with some happiness what people are doing around. We want that kind of creative energy during this difficult time. So feel encouraged, feel willing to share, feel open and safe. This is a place where we're all rooting for each other.